Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. We are jumping straight into an epic, incredibly high-stakes showdown today between Moses and the mighty Pharaoh. We're digging into Exodus chapter 8, and honestly, it is a wild roller coaster. We're talking ultimate power, ridiculous stubbornness, and just unbelievable ground-shaking miracles.
So think about it. Who do you think actually takes the trophy when the strongest empire in the ancient world goes head to head with the creator of the universe? I mean, it sounds like an obvious answer, right? But earthly magic and divine power are about to collide in a spectacular way here, and the lessons we pull from this are absolutely massive.
It's literally the matchup of the ages. Over in this corner, we've got Moses, a humble guy backed by God's unmatched infinite power. And in the other corner, the incredibly stubborn Pharaoh, sitting on his golden throne with an elite squad of magical Egyptian priests. You know, this isn't just some battle of spells. It's a full-on clash to prove exactly who is the true king of the world. All right, let's kick things off with round one, Attack of the Frogs. Okay, so God gives Pharaoh a clear warning to let his people go. Pharaoh refuses, and boom, God sends an absolute swarm of bouncy green frogs everywhere. I'm talking in the palace, in their beds, even jumping in their baking dough. Now, Pharaoh's magicians step up, use their secret arts, and somehow make more frogs appear. Like, gee, thanks, guys, exactly what everyone needed, more frogs. But here's the real kicker. The magicians are totally powerless to get rid of them. Human trickery might be able to copy a plague, but it absolutely cannot match God's power to actually fix the situation. So Pharaoh's stuck. He practically begs Moses to ask God to remove these frogs. And Moses actually lets Pharaoh pick the exact time for them to leave. So what does Pharaoh say? Tomorrow. Wait, what? Seriously, why would you want to sleep another whole night with slimy frogs in your bed? It makes no sense. Moses agrees, the frogs vanish, but you know what happens? The second he gets relief, Pharaoh completely breaks his promise. His stubborn pride just takes right back over. Which brings us right to round two, the tricky lice. Because of that broken promise, Aaron smacks the dust of the ground with his staff. And instantly, the dust transforms into millions of itchy, awful lice crawling all over Egypt. Now, the Egyptian magicians try their absolute hardest to copy this one, and they completely fail. The magic literally stops here. They look at Pharaoh in total panic and flat out admit, this is the finger of God. Even the so-called experts knew they were totally beaten. But guess what? Pharaoh still wouldn't listen. And that leads us straight into round three, swarms of flies. Pharaoh digs his heels in again, right? So God sends these heavy, destructive swarms of buzzing flies to completely wreck Egypt. But here is the absolute game changer. God draws a literal line in the sand. While Egypt is completely engulfed in this chaotic swarm, the land of Goshen, which is where God's people live, is perfectly, peacefully protected. Not a single fly. God does this so Pharaoh knows exactly who is in control, protecting his people in a way that is just utterly undeniable. Okay, so now Pharaoh's getting truly desperate, but he's also trying to pull a fast one. He tries this super sneaky compromise. He tells Moses, okay, I'll let you go into the desert to sacrifice. Only you are not to go very far away. See, he wants to look like he's giving in, but secretly, he's trying to keep them trapped. So Moses prays, the flies vanish, and shocker, Pharaoh plays games and breaks his promise yet again. Guys, this highlights something absolutely crucial. Total surrender. Total surrender means giving your absolute all, with zero compromises or half-hearted promises. True devotion doesn't look anything like Pharaoh's sneaky little tricks. It requires giving your whole heart, not just settling for that halfway, compromised kind of obedience. So let's head into the post-game wrap-up and declare the ultimate winner. Let's check the scoreboard and break down the big takeaways here. Number 1, stubbornness and pride, they ruin everything. Number 2, human magic has strict limits. It cannot even come close to matching God's power. Third, total surrender beats half-hearted promises every single time. And finally, God is supreme over all earthly powers. I mean, by sending the lice, God even prevented the super clean Egyptian priests from performing duties for their false gods. God totally proved he is the one true king over all idols. If you take away nothing else today, remember this. Pharaoh's story is the ultimate red flag. Ignoring clear, powerful signs and holding on to stubborn pride, it's only going to lead to your own destruction. Every single time he broke a promise, he literally just made things worse for himself and his entire kingdom. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Will you learn from Pharaoh's massive mistakes? When you're faced with the truth, will you choose to let go of your own stubbornness and fully surrender to what is right? The choice is completely up to you. Will you fully surrender or stay stubborn like Pharaoh? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Click the bell button, like, share, and subscribe.